All right, diving right in today, and
It's one that I think a lot of people are going to be excited about.
yeah,
Messi and Ronaldo still going strong
still going.
at age 37. I
He's
mean,
37. Can you believe it?
it's unbelievable. And you know what's really cool is we've got some fun sources for this one.
I do.
We've got footage of them going head to head, not in Europe,
Not in Europe?
but in the U.S. League. This is
Yeah. Wild, right.
wild. So we'll get into that, and then
Some goals too, by the way. Look.
yeah, oh yeah, jaw-dropping goals.
Jaw drop.
We'll make sure we'll get into all that.
Uh,
And then we've got this side-by-side statistical comparison.
yeah. So yeah, the stats. Don't worry.
All the stats.
We're gonna crunch those
This
numbers.
is going to be good.
Eh.
So, I mean, just to kick things off,
Yeah, yeah.
seeing Messi and Ronaldo face off in the U.S. League, it's pretty remarkable.
It really is. I mean, it speaks to, I think, first of all, just the enduring power of their rivalry. Right. I mean, people are still just captivated by these two, no matter where they're playing.
Yeah.
But I think it also says something about the growth of the sport, here in the U.S.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, to have these global icons
The global icon.
coming over here, and you know what? They're not just phoning it in either.
No.
They're not just here to collect a paycheck and take it easy. They are playing with intensity.
Yes.
I mean, you see it
See it.
in the way they're moving, in their just their demeanor on the field. They want to win.
They're so competitive.
They are.
And some credits.
And that's what makes them so much fun to watch, I think. And just, I mean, speaking of fun to watch,
Yep.
let's talk about those goals. I mean, 8 minutes into the game,
8 minutes in.
Messi just, I mean, what does he do? He just dances through 3 defenders.
Like they weren't even there.
Like they were training cones,
Yeah.
honestly. And then just slots it past the goalkeeper. I mean, the precision, the control at that speed.
Unbelievable.
It's vintage Messi.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, you watch it and you're like, how does he do that?
It's magic. It's got to be magic.
I mean, magic. So we're 8 minutes in.
8 minutes in.
Messi's already on the scoreboard.
1 up.
I have to imagine that probably lights a little bit of a fire under Ronaldo, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you could almost see it in his eyes, Like, all right, game on. Ronaldo's not one to be shown up, especially not by Messi.
No, not at all.
So yeah, I think that definitely added an extra layer of intensity to the whole match.
Yeah, it's almost like watching
Like a boxing match where the first punch is landed and then it's like, all right,
the gloves are off.
the gloves are off. But it wasn't
It
just
wasn't a one-man show at all.
no.
I mean, come on, we got to talk about Robert Taylor.
Robert Taylor, yeah.
2 goals,
Having a blinder.
an absolute blinder.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about stepping up. And that's the thing about playing with guys like Messi and Ronaldo, right? It's like they bring out the best in everyone around them.
Absolutely. It's almost like I don't know, have you ever played pickup basketball with someone who's just
Way better than you.
way better than you? It's
Yeah.
like it makes you better, even if it's just for that one game.
It does. You're like, all right, I got to bring my A game,
Yeah, you gotta elevate your game.
Exactly.
And I think that's what you see with these two. But speaking of elevated game,
Right.
let's dive into these stats a little bit,
The numbers.
because I mean, 37 years old
37.
for most athletes. I mean, they're thinking about
Retirement. Right.
retirement. Yeah,
Putting their feet up.
exactly.
Maybe a little golf,
Exactly. Maybe some coaching.
Yeah.
These guys are still
At the top of their game.
at the top of their game, and you see it in the stats. I mean,
Yeah.
even with Messi playing fewer matches, he's got
He's got more goals.
Yeah.
He's got more assists.
Yeah.
I mean, it's remarkable.
it's amazing, and it's so close.
It is close.
It's so close that it just keeps this debate,
The Jat debate
the debate.
raging on, and rightfully so. I mean, how could you possibly say definitively?
I mean, how could you choose?
It's like comparing, I don't know, a Picasso to a Michelangelo.
Right.
They're both masters. They're just different.
Different styles.
Different styles.
Different
Eras, even to some extent.
eras, yeah. And yet they've both dominated their respective eras,
Absolutely.
which is amazing. But
Here's something else that I found just astonishing.
yeah.
The journalist who compiled all these stats mentioned that both of them have their sights set on 2026.
The World Cup.
The World Cup.
Can you imagine?
That would be their
Sixth World Cup.
World Cup appearance.
Unheard of.
Unheard of. That's like showing up to your high school reunion,
Right.
and everyone's like, "Wait a minute, you've been to every single one of these.
You're still here.
You're still here." And not just there, but like, winning awards,
Exactly.
being the coolest kid at the reunion. That's essentially what they're doing.
It's incredible, and I think that, it speaks to
Their drive,
their commitment,
their longevity.
longevity. I mean, how many athletes can you say that about? It's remarkable.
It's a testament to honestly their physical, their mental,
Yeah.
their everything. They're just built different, these two.
They really are. So, as we're kind of coming up on the end of our time here, I guess the big takeaway is
Yeah.
the rivalry continues. It's alive and well.
It is alive and well, and I love what you said about, it sparks all these debates.
Oh, endless debates. And that's the beauty of it. It's not just about, who scored more goals or who won more trophies.
Right.
It's about their playing styles, right? Like, Messi, the magician, artist,
Yeah.
Ronaldo, the athlete,
The power.
the force of nature.
Yeah.
And then you get into leadership qualities. I mean, how do they inspire their teammates? How do they conduct themselves on and off the pitch? It's just these are the conversations, man.
It's fascinating, and it's really cool to see that even at this stage in their careers,
Still go.
they're still giving us all these things to think about and to talk about.
Absolutely. And the footage, the match footage, I know we've talked about the goals, but honestly, just watch it. Just watch the way they move, watch the way they think, watch the way they see the field.
It's a masterclass.
It's a masterclass. It's a masterclass in football, and I think there's something there for everyone.
I agree, and for our listeners, for anyone who wants to really go down this rabbit hole,
Yeah.
it's fascinating. We didn't even really get into the whole debate about sportsmanship.
Oh, yeah.
and who's
Who's a better role model?
a better role model, and all that comes with it.
Oh, that's a whole other.
That's a whole other it's a whole other episode. Really
deep dive.
deep dive. But for now, I think we've only scratched the surface here, but we've covered
A lot of ground.
we've covered a lot of ground. So
Been a pleasure.
as always, appreciate it, and I'm sure
Likewise.
we'll do this again soon.
That's good.
All right.
Cheers.